I was just scrolling through Twitter, you know, like I do. Or X, whatever you want to call it. Same thing, Twix. And I scrolled past Andy No. Last week, Oregon lawmakers finally passed a bill reimposing some minimal criminal penalties for the possession of hard drugs after decriminalizing it in early 2021. It sounds like their little drug experiment failed and caused a massive issue of zombies being on the streets. 2021, following the BLM, Antifa violence, and George Floyd panic. That's when it really happened. Hard drugs, fentanyl, heroin, etc. being decriminalized was advocated for and supported by the ACLU, the homeless and industrial complex, and far-left activists. Meanwhile, fentanyl continued to pour into the U.S. through the porous southern border. What followed was a surge in drug deaths, overdoses, including of children, and open drug abuse on the main streets. What did you think was going to happen? We all predicted it. Multnomah County, where Portland is, had more deaths from overdosing than COVID-19. So that's the real pandemic, is allowing people to just openly use drugs and just support homelessness, all for money. Because they were making money. The government was spending money, but the people running the organization, they were making money. That's how the government really works. Downtown remains a shell of itself after years, downtown remains a shell of itself years after the pandemic peak and nightly Antifa riots that shuttered businesses. Streets are usually littered with hypodermic needles and feces. And that's why they have poo trackers everywhere. But if the city has a poo tracker, I'm just not going to go to that city. If they have like a massive drug epidemic, not going there. I'm just going to stick to my small towns and maybe some larger towns, small cities. Leftists and Democrats who support decriminalization blame other factors for their decriminalization law not being effective. Such as what? At this time, I'm not surprised by this outcome, but I do find it deeply sad that Oregon bungled decriminalization so badly that no other state is likely to try it in the near future. Good. I don't see that as a bad thing. Obviously, decriminalize stuff like weed. Oregon's drug decriminalization experiment appears dead. Story on the Senate vote today. Probably not going to look into that. This is just kind of a non-issue for me. Portland Drug Users Union. We are a drug users union based out of Portland, Oregon. We're fighting for the improvement of better lives for people who use drugs. DMs open, no lists. And here we go. An article from MSN. Oregon is ready to end its experiment with drug decriminalization, according to one senator. This comes as skyrocketing overdose deaths and public drug usage compelled the state legislature to reintroduce criminal penalties for possession in the Beaver State. About 4 Oregonians a day are dying because of overdoses. That's a lot. That's more than war. Well, most war. Because usually when war happens, you'll have maybe 1 or 2 die, maybe a week, and then you'll have 100 or 200 die all at once. So the numbers kind of stretch out. If you don't believe me, look it up. So that's it. Maybe we'll find out in the future if they try this somewhere else, but I find it very unlikely. If you like what I do here, I got stuff down in the description. My dogs are freaking out, so join the Discord, and maybe you can freak out too.